your choice is all up to you. Too many things, don't know what to do. Speak your mind and you won't get judged. If it kicks off, you won't hold no grudges. What? Come online, come online. CSI, CSI. Come online, come online. CSI, CSI. Yeah, your choice is all up to you. Too many things, don't know.
Hello, my name is Lucia. Welcome to CSI. Today we have Bruno Gabriel as one of the guests. Bruno Gabriel, he's a poet, an engineer, and also a writer. Bruno, welcome.
Thank you so much, Lucia. How are you?
Good, good, good. Tell us, Bruno, you are a poet, a writer, and an engineer.
I could say that. I could say that. I think I am all of the titles that you gave to me for sure. But besides writing, besides the degree that I have, which is marketing, advertising marketing. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a writer, and I believe I'm so much more because I think that's what God gave to me, and I'm just embracing all of it. So I'm that and much more, I believe.
Okay, very good. Yes, yeah. So, how did you come about, becoming a writer? Is it something that you wanted to do as a child?
Not at all. As a wheelchair user and somebody that came from an African country, I didn't really have a big dreams in terms of what I want to do with my life. When I came to Ireland in 2009, that's when I got the chance to kind of like spread my wing and open my kind of a little bit more my knowledge about different things. And I have done sports, different sports, wheelchair, race, tennis, a few other things. But I think back in second school, that's when I felt the need to actually express myself a little bit better. And then from there on, from 2014, 2015, that's when I started writing. And I felt that first I kept my writing for myself, but then when I started sharing with one or two friends, then that's when things got a little bit better and people
started to see how good, the work.
No, I wouldn't say good, but how inspiring, because my writing is about myself, it's about my surroundings, about my life story, etc., etc. So I didn't really have any dream in terms of writing, but okay. I feel like God gave it to me, so I'm just taking and really rocking with it. So
it was like a sock into a shoe, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. So you said you came from Angola. Okay. So do you want to tell us, a little bit more?
So I came here in 2009. I was 13 when I came here. I came with my mom. Unfortunately, she passed away 2.5 years ago. But I was 13, so we came from Cabinda. That's where I used to live. So, and since then, yeah, I have been living here. I haven't been to Angola, but for people that just see me sitting here, I'm a wheelchair user. I think we're gonna go a little bit deeper later on. But
yeah, we will.
I'm a wheelchair user. I just want to introduce that as well. And yeah, I'm just trying to put myself out there in terms of, inspiring other people and motivating other people as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so engineering. So how did that come about, while choosing the subjects in college?
I wouldn't say it's engineering per se. I did advertise marketing, which is the job I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, when I came here, I didn't really have big dreams. Honestly, I came from Angola where, people with disabilities are a little bit hard to progress if they don't have the right structure, So when I came here, I was just trying to actually get into college and do something that I would look back and be like, I'm happy what I have done. And when I picked the course, I was like, okay, I will go with it and do it and then see how it goes. And thank God, 4 years after I'm graduated, I have a job and I'm working with Facebook, etc., etc. So yeah, it's just a blessing upon blessing that has come after so many hardship.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So is anybody in the family that does have the same trades, like even architect or anything like that?
I say my mom, even though she wasn't really a poet or something like that, but she used to write a lot because I think she felt the need to just put something down for herself, but also for remembering as well. So beside her, I don't think so. So I think she is my main inspiration, if I could say that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, so that was you just answered my, my next question. But yes, so now tell us about a 13 years old boy coming to Ireland wheelchair user, you know, shock of a culture, you're a black boy, how, you know, was that impact?
Was a bit overwhelming for sure. First, when I came here, I wasn't able to speak English. Even the way I'm speaking right now was everything by just listen. You know, I didn't go to a proper kind of like English school. I had to go straight to the secondary school, which was more difficult because I was kind of like putting behind or like have to do extra English, extra classes
yes, yeah.
for me to be able to catch up. And I felt a little bit overwhelmed and really was a challenge, you know, because I wasn't able to speak the English. I was able to speak English. I wasn't able to express myself the same way, and was a new world for me in a good way as well. It wasn't all bad. It was, you know, I can't, but it was overwhelming, was challenging, was something that I looked into it and I was like, okay, it can't be all bad. So, and to be able to be where I am today, after a few years, almost 11 years now, I'm just really, really grateful.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yes, yeah. So looking back in Angola and here in Ireland, how would you compare the educational system and the acceptance of you being a wheelchair user?
Yeah, something that a lot of people don't know really about myself is that back in Angola, because of my disability, I wasn't able to go to school. I was taking back, like I was homeschooling, if I could say that. My mom taught me from, you know, from the comfort of our house, if I could say that as well. And yeah, so I was beaten when I used to go to school as well, you know, calling names, several names, and you know yourself, you know, when somebody has a disability in Angola and they're crawling, you know, or you crawl, they use different names, you know, cat,
different
dogs,
handicap names,
yeah, or,
yes,
you know, and yeah, so my mom decided to just teach me or schooling me from home, and that's exactly what happened. And also, I don't know, I believe that I have grown as a man, as I've grown as a human being, I have grown as well as a wheelchair user. So I have embraced and accept myself as well. So that said, you know, coming here, it did help me to accept who I am, and also to thank God and my mom for, you know, taking me from where I used to live in Angola, in Cabinda, to here, because it was definitely hardship over there. I wasn't able to study there. I wasn't able to really go out. I didn't have too many friends. But look, it is part of the big journey, you know. It has been written, I believe, you know, I believe in God, so I believe that has been written, and I just have to follow the path, and that's exactly what happened. So here is definitely, the education is different as well. You have more opportunities as well. The whole school or education system compared to Africa, you know yourself, is a little
completely
bit
different.
way
Yes,
different. So, and there's more opportunity on this side of Europe than some part of Africa. I wouldn't say all of it, but yeah, compared to where I'm coming from, Cabinda, Angola, yeah, for people with disability like myself, it's definitely different. It's massive difference, yeah.
Okay, and then what about family support? Did you have much family support, or were you taken aside just like your, you know, the kids around, you know, were making fun of you or not really accepting you? Did that occur to you within the family?
No, not as often. I think when a family has a person with disability or disabled person, they tend to embrace, you know, they tend to take the kid, or, you know, and trying to just live with it because that's what it is. But I never really had an issue in terms of my family or my mom's, you know, rejection at all. So, which is a good thing because it helps me to be actually looking back and just being very grateful, because it's just the outside world, you know, sometimes they have that taboo, you know, that stigma that, you know, people with disability, they're a certain way, you know. Even when I came here in Ireland as well, you know, we still have
the discrimination.
That
it's everywhere, you know, in the world, unfortunately. But obviously, yes, you know,
it's just that stigma that, you know, people with disability, they have to be sad or have to be a certain way, you know. And I think people, when they look at me, they'll be like, why are you always happy? And that's exactly what I write, you know. I have a piece on my Instagram that say more or less about that. People look at me, how are you still happy in wheelchair? How are you still happy your mom passed out? How are you still happy living by yourself? So there's a lot of questions. I look at them and be like, there's so many questions, but you don't really know. When you embrace and when you accept yourself, things go way easier, and you embrace, and you're really happy that God at least has put you in a place where a lot of people are not.
Wow, that's amazing. It's, you said there's something that is actually quite important. When you accept yourself, regardless if you have a disability, regardless, if you are less able, person, once you accept yourself, then you start to discover a little bit more of you, and self-growth starts to, to develop, within, yourself. So well done to you, well done to you. Okay, so let's, past, or move to disability, as you, are saying, and it is important to state that, yes, you are a wheelchair user, and you do go to schools, and you encourage, and you are...
Oh yeah, so after I finished college, what I did is, and also beside creating my page for, kind of like just inspiring other people as well with disability, not just disability, but overall people that's going through a lot of issues in life, really. So I started going, kind of embrace a little, not embrace, but get in touch with the community as well, and going to schools in Dublin 24, where I live, or Tala. And yeah, I just went down and talk about my disability, talk about my school life, and issues that I faced while in school and college as well. So, and just put myself out there, and just prove to some people that are able-bodied that disability is not all end all, and as people tend to say.
Yes, it's not a barrier for you to achieve your goals.
Not at all.
Yes, okay. So as you were going to schools, were you going to secondary schools? Were you going to primary school, university, or all of them?
Yes, I started in secondary. Actually, I have been to primary before, but I think my main aim is to start with secondary, because there are young people over there that sometimes they let themselves down, or they motivate themselves because of what the teacher or the friends say. So I try to encourage them and trying to uplift them, because it's hard. I have been to secondary school, I have been there, so I just want to kind of like give them that push that if I can do it, they can do it as well. So, and then obviously because of COVID, I had to stop. So, but the aim was to go to universities as well, college, and just trying to show them that it's possible when you put your mind into it.
Okay. When you decided to get yourself involved in the community and create this awareness, were you invited, or did you offer yourself?
I put myself out there. I put myself out there. There wasn't really a lot of people that I was getting in touch with that would invite me, so I put myself out there. I call schools, I call universities, and I was like, my name is Bruno. I learned that from his name is Nick Volchevich.
Okay, yes.
He did that as well back in the day. He was like call places as well. So I used to listen to him a lot. So that's where I learned that you have to put yourself out there. And so I called places, and I said, like, I'm available to talk. You don't have to pay me. I just want to share a little bit of my story. I'm disabled. I have been here in Ireland for the past 10 to 11 years. I think they're gonna get something good from me. From my story. They will be inspired, and they will be happy to listen to me. And luckily, I was invited to some of the school, from my own school where I went in St. Aidan's, to St. Mark's and a few other ones in Tala. And yeah, I was just very, very blessed to be able to talk for 2 hours and encourage them and give them the push that they need, inspire them rather.
Okay. Do you feel that there's any extra discrimination, not only by being a wheelchair user, but also being a black boy in Ireland?
There's always discrimination. You see, sometimes the discrimination here is not as visible as certain places, as much anyway, but there is always discrimination. I believe, I try not to think too much about it, but there is. I face several issues right now as well that I'm trying to get things done, or should have been done before I even got through all that. But, for some reason or another, not just talk about public, I'm also talk about authorities as well, they should be doing things a little bit better, not just for black person, but people with disability,
especially people with disability.
Special needs, and sometimes they just ignore it. They don't really do it what they were supposed to do in the first place, and I'm facing with that right now. but yeah, it is tough. I try to just, keep my head up and keep going, but sometimes I find myself crying, which is normal because with so much going on, so much happening in life, COVID, etc., sometimes we have to cry so that we don't think any other way, you know what I mean? But yeah, we do face that.
Yeah, crying sometimes can be a release of emotion,
For sure.
and something that you can help it to, to release, slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now living in Tala, you said Dublin 24,
Yeah.
living in Tala, which is considered a disadvantaged area.
Actually, it is an advantage area, and that is proven by the school I went, which is St. Aidan's. There, we had like help in terms of programs to give us a hand in terms of going to college and things like that. So that proves that Tala, it is compared to other areas, it is a little bit in disadvantage. So. Compared to other areas, yes, I definitely.
Yeah, it's
I agree
definitely
with that.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
And when you are talking to people, when you go to do the talks, did you just select Tala specifically, or did you try to go to some, let's say, a little bit more advantage, schools?
I see, because I don't drive. I wasn't driving yet, so I tried to stay in my surrounding because it would be easier for me to get into if they give me a call, or if I try to get in there, it was easier. So I try just to be in my area rather than going to town or any other area. But the hope and my wish is to definitely spread my wings and fly high, and not just nationally here, but also international. And with my writing, hopefully, people are able to see, and also get inspired and be happy for me to have a talk with them and just share a little bit of my knowledge about life and about my disability and also my life story.
Yes, yeah, that's great. So, yeah, I really wish that you are able to do that, and I wish you luck on that area of spreading and creating way more knowledge. You mentioned that you also practice sports in school. So what sports did you practice?
I did wheelchair track and field.
Okay.
I did that from 2010 to 2015. Then I have to pick, is either track and field or college. I think I was okay, I was decent to actually get to Olympics. I was training at some point to actually go to the Olympics, but we just feel difficulties along the way, training and coach and place to do all that. And I had to pick, so I went.
And where were you practicing that?
I was in Drogheda.
Okay.
I was in County Meath.
So you had to go from Tala all the way to Drogheda?
No, actually, I used to live in Drogheda.
Okay, so that's where you.
So that's why, and then
Okay.
I had to go to Navan or Navan, which is close to, not close enough, but anyway, I used to go to Navan to do my training, so it was a little bit far, so I couldn't really do it. So, and then after I moved, because everything was done, the sports activity was all done while I was in Drogheda, really, rather than in Tala. Then from Tala, I used to do basketball as well, which then I did few years as well. And then I had to pick as well, is that between, I used to finish college and go straight to the basketball,
Okay.
which started at 6 and finished at 8. And then from Lonclestown down in Dunleary, just down further away from Dunleary, Lonclestown, I used to take the public transport for 2 hours.
Wow.
So I was like, no. I used to get home around 11 to 10. I was like, no, because it's public transport. I was like, I need to just focus on one thing. And that's exactly what happened.
So you decided to just stay in college?
Just
Okay.
college.
That's great, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move to writing. Okay, so you're also, a writer.
Yeah.
And you have a book out.
Yeah, I have a sample I printed for myself. It's just when I go places in terms of open mic or any other places that I'm talking, I'm doing some TED Talk or just schools, things like that. I tend to take my book and just share some poetry with them as well, or with the people that I'm talking to. So yeah, I have a sample that I printed in 2019 called A Glimpse of Hope and Destruction. That was just after my mom passed away. So the title was given by one of my friends who helped me as well in writing. So, and I was like, yeah, that title definitely, it does, what's the word?
Suits.
Such, the time that I was going, a glimpse of hope and destruction. So, because I wanted to have a little bit of hope after everything that happened. Also, the destruction was, you know, that my mom passed away, and
Yeah.
I had to live by myself, you know, and keep strong. So was really hard. But yeah, so that was the title. And yeah, right now I'm still writing. I want to do my autobiography as well. The title is still in working, and then I'm in progress. Thank you. And now I'm also writing. Actually, hopefully by next year, I'll have another title, a new book called A Matter of Will. Also, because of everything that has happened to me, but also what's happening in the world. That it doesn't matter what's gonna happen. It's a matter of will. You know, it depends on you, and it's for you. So yeah, that is the work I'm doing right now, and hopefully it will come out soon. But yeah.
Okay, so in your writing, you also not only express your experience, you express your emotions. Let's go back to the first, to the glimpse of hope. When you were writing that, you said that your mother had just passed away, and you were writing that. Did you feel that by being devastated emotionally, do you feel that you had like more power into writing, or how did it came about for you to be able to accomplish a book? Because
they are a collection of poems. So poems, which is a good thing, it's not really completely like proper fiction book. You know what I mean? So since it's a collection, I had to. Some of them was already written. Some of them I was writing, and some of them was just everything that combined together, after my mom passed away. So yes, it was definitely when you have an awful, if I could say, an overwhelming situation in your life, you tend to have more emotions for you to write in different ways and different styles as well. So I believe definitely my mom passing helped me to take that side of me that I never really thought about it, because I never really write a happy poem, because it's way harder to write a happy poem than a sad poem. But I think definitely my mom passing gave me the will, that was to write a little bit more, looking inside myself or within myself, and be like, okay, there's a lot that you can't really go and talk to counseling yet, but you write and put that book out, it will help you to embrace what you have, where you are, and what your mom has done. So, and that's exactly what happened. Okay. Do you feel any difference from what you have written before, and what you wrote after your mother passing? Is there a lot of a darkness emotion expressed in the poems? Yeah, some of them definitely. There's a lot of darkness. I try not to be too dark, but there's a little bit of darkness in there. And then as the year passes, it doesn't mean that the pain is over. You just try to adjust yourself. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm a wheelchair user, so I can't really be too sad, or I can't live my life in sadness. Otherwise, I will deepen myself in destruction, exactly as my book says. So I try to move away from from that kind of feeling, so that I don't put myself every single day down and put myself in a sad situation. That exactly what happened 2.5 years ago. Okay. So by actually accepting, your environment, by accepting your surroundings and every single situation that has come from you, do you feel that has given you an extra hope in the future, or is it just you going along as life takes you? Yeah, I think definitely has. I think everything that we do, it does tend to create a path for a better outcome in the future. And I do believe that I can't live day by day. I'm not that kind of person. I prefer to plan. Everything about life is planning. And I try not to go day by day, because if you go day by day, you lose focus, and I don't want to lose focus. And my mom put me where I am and gave me the structure and the platform for me to be better than who I was before. So the fact that she already gave me the chance, I just have to actually plan, and I hope my future is as bright as I hope, I wish. But if I keep working the way I'm working, keep, wishing and praying to God, I believe, the future is definitely bright. Okay. You were, in numerous times you mentioned,
the gratefulness that you are towards God.
Yeah.
Some people would actually blame God, question God. Why have you given me this disability? Has that ever come into your mind?
Definitely, the Bible say, I don't want to cite here Bibles verses, but the Bible say that God doesn't He doesn't put the burden to a weak person. Everything that God gave to you. I'm just actually cutting my one way, but anyway, God, okay. Everything that God gives to you is because you're strong enough to take it. Do you get me? Yeah. So, and I'm not gonna say I'm religious. I believe I have a faith, and being in Ireland, it just helped me to be even more faithful and be more stronger than I ever been, because back in 2009, like I'm 45.
So, you'll get there, don't worry.
I know, I'm only 25, I don't get there anytime soon. But yeah, so back in 2009, when we came here the first time, time was hard because we were put in one room, sharing with the other people as well. We were in direct provision. So the only way we had is hope and faith.
Yeah.
And I remember numerous times, I won't lie, myself and my mom, we prayed. We sat in one corner and we prayed. So for people that doesn't believe, I don't condemn them, but they do them, I do I, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do believe that there is a stronger being, that is stronger than myself and stronger than anything else there. And I believe that God is my strength. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be here right now, because I would be deep in myself, in the destruction again, as I mentioned before, or in sadness, or even just in the proper glimpse of no hope whatsoever. So yeah, I believe, the faith I have and everything that has happened to me, praying with my mom and have the faith that I have, even though sometimes it is a little bit weak, because I question myself why I'm in a wheelchair, because it's normal to question. The Bible doesn't say you can't question God. You have to question, but you cannot blame him. I don't blame God that he took my mom. I don't blame him that I'm in a wheelchair. I don't. I'm just really, really thankful that he already has written everything in a way that I never really hoped I would be where I am. I live now, people look at me and be like, how do you do it? I live by myself.
I was just about to ask you that, like with all of these things that, a lot of people, would consider to be the end of the world. Like, some people lose their phone and they panic. Some people, miss this, miss a trip, and, it is the most saddest thing. And they break up in a relationship. They committed, atrocious, things, but yet you keep always positive. You are constantly in this, positive aura, if I could put it that way. How?
I don't know. It's God. Honestly, it's just being able to trust in something bigger than you, and being focused and being very aware of what you want as well. There's things that will always happen in life.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bruno, thank you so much, for being able to be this bubble of positive energy towards, and willing to share that with younger, people, because I believe education, it's more important than anything actually that we can do, and being able to transfer that to the young, to the younger selves of us, or to the, to the future of the community or our society. It is a key point. So you're doing that very well. Is there a profession that you believe that people with disabilities should not do at all?
I think disabilities, honestly, I think disability is in our mind, because there is few professions or jobs that people say you cannot do. But I have seen movies, shows, especially with the technology, 21st century, I believe anybody can do anything, because I think the technology has definitely helped us so much, not just myself with physical disability, but also intellectual disability. I have seen movies and I have seen stories that people with their mind were able to drive a plane, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, and it's just a matter of, it's definitely just, if you put yourself into that and you want bad enough, you will get it. Because at the end of the day, it's not how high you can jump, it's how high you actually want to jump, because wanting one thing and actually need something or believing that you can do is a different thing.
Okay.
So I think anybody can do anything if they want to. Obviously, there is always advice you shouldn't be doing, because you don't want to hurt yourself. But yeah, I never really thought I would be able to play football. I never really thought I would be able to. I never thought I would be able even just to take a stairs because, in Angola, to be honest, I never been to a house that had stairs before. Everything was down floor. But when I came here, I was like, you have crutches, you have wheelchair, you have ways, methods, and things for you to be able to do it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So by that said, yeah, anything, if you put your mind into it, obviously.
So you put yourself forward, really.
Forward,
you find those challenge something that you are able to achieve.
Find ways. If you find ways, you get the things. You will definitely get where. I know it will be hard. Everything is hard in life. It will be hard. But if you find some ways, you will be able to do it. And my example is Nick Vujicic.
Wow, yeah.
He's amazing. I think
He has
I
no
mentioned.
limbs, whatsoever.
He's amazing, and I have mentioned before that I actually wrote to him. I sent him an email. He never replied, but I sent it anyway. So I sent it. But yeah, I think he's an inspiration. I used to watch him, a lot. But he's an inspiration. You are able to see how well he has come in life, and it's just a matter of perspective, a matter of you putting yourself forward, it's a matter of focus, it's a matter of wishing and hoping.
Okay, very good. Do you believe that when you have a disability, God is a key factor on you becoming a positive person?
Not necessarily, no. I don't believe so. I know it depends also on the perspective of the person, because I have seen people that has had some kind of accident and they were hopeless, sorry. And there was nothing that could bring them back to the senses that, it is what it is. So, and few people that has disability like myself, I had polio since age 2. So, and I think it's the surrounding that you put yourself into it. I was listening to a motivational speech on YouTube, and they said if you surround yourself with a positive person, you will become a positive person. If you surround yourself with somebody that is rich, you will want to be rich. And so it's a perspective, it's a way of thinking. So God is there, yes, and you have to have faith, but it's yourself and your surrounding that will shape the person that you become.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. If there's anything that you would like to, to share with our guests, how they can get in touch with you, getting to know more, getting to find out about any of your poetry, or if there's anyone that you would like even to,
Thank you. There's not a lot really, but I do want to thank you for the chance to speak to you and, to have this platform for me to share my story. There's so much more, definitely, from my side. I tend not to talk a lot about it because I don't want to cry, and I don't want the
hold
viewers,
yourself very good.
and anybody, because I tend to do that, and I usually make people cry for some reason or another, sad, in a good way, if you know what I mean. So, if you want to find a little bit more about myself, you could follow me on Instagram. It's Brunos, BRUNOS. .Gabriel, which is my full name, and yeah, just get in touch with me, and I'll be able to, either talk to you and just have a proper, session with you, or if you want me to participate anywhere as well, you can contact me as well. I'm not gonna give my number, but you can contact me on Instagram. That's where I am. And yeah, thank you so much for having me here, and definitely was a blessing in disguise, because I wasn't really hoping it would be all that today, but I know I'm blessed to be here, and just thankful that I had the opportunity to open up a little bit more and just talk about my story and everything that has happened to me so far, and hopefully in times to come. Not in time to come, maybe next year you'll be able to see A Matter of Will, which is my book. It consists of 4 different topics, my personal life, faith, relationship, and society. So these 4 topics, I think, is part of why we live today and who we are today. So hopefully next year you'll be able to see my book, and we'll be able to either, join together and read some poetry together as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. If you have been touched by this story, or if you feel that you have something you'd like to share with us, please get in touch with CSI. This is Lucia and you are watching CSI. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Helen.
Hey, I'm Candy.
Hi, I am Michael.
Hi, I'm Ivy.
And this is Lucia.
Thank you for watching CSI.
Make sure to subscribe to CSI Common Society Issues.
And remember to hit that notification bell.
Thank you.